What's up, guys? Welcome to Jaden's New Life. I'm Jaden and I'm an addict. So welcome to my channel. My channel is about my story of drug addiction and recovery. I like to come here each week and share a bit about my story, whether it's about how I lived as an addict in active addiction, or how I live my life and how I deal with the things that come up in my life today in recovery. So today, I actually wanted to talk a bit about depression. But before I carry on with that, if you get some value out of the things I share, or you think anyone else will, make sure you share this video and hit that subscribe button down below and hit that bell notification too, and you'll be notified when I come out with a new video. So, yes, depression. Well, I would say as far back as 8 years old, I can relate to having depression. I've done a lot of work around, especially when I came into recovery, around my past. And just recently I've gone back through a lot of stuff. But the thing with addiction and the rehab or treatment, we go back and look at the things that, the negative aspects of who we were and what we did, and the behaviours that we had at the time. So this is all great, but at the end of the day, you find these behaviours so you can change them. But this last process that I've been through, I've actually been going right back to these situations and tried to figure out why I was depressed, and I've also looked at situations in my past too that were peak experiences, situations that I was happy and I was enjoying life. And I compared the both of these, and I quickly realised that what I was missing from one side when I was depressed is what I had on the other. In other words, when I was depressed, my core values were not being met. And when I was happy and in a good place, my core values were being met. This was a great process to go back and look at. But, depression is a big subject for everybody out there. And I look back at my, me when I was in depression for all those many, many years. And I realised that I brought it on myself so much. I would think of one negative thing, okay? That one negative thought would come up in my head and I'd replay it over and over and over again. All of a sudden, that told my brain that I wanted to feel that way. So what did my brain do? My brain searched for the next negative thing, then the next negative thing, then the next negative thing. And I trained and conditioned myself to seek out negative thoughts. They say that depression is a chemical imbalance in the brain. But, I completely agree with that. But I think it's us. It's us and our way of thinking that makes that imbalance. If you continue to think negative thoughts, then you're only training your brain and training your body to feel it and to trigger those emotions of depression. So, one thing that got later on in my addiction was that my ex-wife, she decided I better go to the doctor and get on antidepressants. And I spent quite a few years on antidepressants. And as we all know, drinking alcohol, taking drugs while on antidepressants pretty much makes the antidepressant not work. But I went along for the ride and I pretty much took those pills to keep my ex-wife happy. The funny thing about this whole video is that, or this whole subject about depression for me, was that the day I quit drugs and then sought help and asked for help, and then went to my first Narcotics Anonymous meeting. That very first meeting I came out of and something was different. For the first time in 20 years, I didn't feel like using. Whether it was that meeting at the time, whether it was the people in there, or whether it was the fact that I'd come to my last straw and there was no other way. I don't know what the thing was, but from that day on, I started to be filled with completely different feelings, feelings of positivity. And all of a sudden, I realized I wasn't depressed anymore. And then it was a shock to my system. Realistically, it was a big shock because I dealt with depression for so many years. But then I realized that I wasn't depressed at all. It was because I'd continually been using drugs and alcohol for my life, for my whole, since I was, I started drinking when I was 10 years old. Came into cannabis when I was 13 years old, 12 years old, sorry. And from then on, no wonder I was feeling that way. But so I just wanted to share my thoughts on depression and let you guys know that it's not always the case. And I think we have the power to change that. Anyone has the power to change that way of thinking. Our thoughts become us. You continually think about anything, and that's what you'll get. And I can see that as proof looking throughout my life and how it's been. So my life today, depression is a thing of the past, but as a recovering addict, every day for me is pretty much positive. I wake up and I do my daily gratitude every single morning and every single night before I go to bed, because I am very, very grateful for the second chance at life. I'm normal, I'm human. There is days that I don't have that are good. There's days that are quite bad. There's days that I have a temper. But that always tells me there's something deeper going on with me. And having these tools in recovery that I've learnt so far, and I continue to learn as the days, months and the years go on, just make my life better and better. And I'm sure the better person that I am, the better father I'll be, the better partner I'll be. So I'm just out there to pretty much create the best possible version I can of myself. So yeah, that's I'm going to sum it up there for depression, and I just thought I'd share a bit about my story and what I went through. So yeah, like I said earlier, if you think you don't want to get any value out of these videos, share it with them, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below and hit that bell notification. You'll be notified when I bring out a new video. And also, if you've got anything you want to know about my story or how I dealt with anything, how I deal with anything today in recovery, problems, whatever that come up with me, if you got anything, if you got any questions, chuck them down there in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And hey, we might even get on a call if you want. I'm here to help if that's what you need. So I'll leave it there for now, and I will see you guys all on the next one. Bye for now.